Hello student, today's topic is newborn examination. First thing, why we need newborn examination? To assessment of gestational age for proper management and to assess the well-being of newborn. We done first examination at the time of birth during assessment of Apgar score. A for appearance, B for pulse, G for Grammys, A for activity, and R for respiration. In physical examination, we have to examine the newborn from head to toe for physical deformity, if any present, congenital deformities, any birth injury, any birthmark, any type of rashes on skin, etc. For physical examination, we have to prepare ourselves with clean hands and wash your hands properly. Rub your hands gently to maintain the body temperature equal to newborn temperature, and then prepare baby with the undressing to clear the picture of skin, genitalia, anal region, perianal region, whole body we have to examine. So put off the cloth, the newborn, and baby should be in quiet and relaxed condition. So schedule your examination of newborn after feeding of baby. When baby is sleeping, you can easily or comfortably assess the examination, perform the examination. So first of all, examination points are anthropometry, measurement, recording or assess of vital signs, skin for color, rashes, cut, bleeding site, etc. Head for size, shape, cuts, etc. Measurement of anterior fontanelle, posterior fontanelle, molding, capot, hematoma, etc. Neck and facial features for face shape, deformity, shape of eyes, shape of nose, lips, evidence of facial palsy, ears for shape, low set ears, papilloma, hairy ears, etc. Chest for shape, respiration, and CVS system. Abdomen for shape, distension, organomegaly, anal examination, urethral opening, and examination. Genitals for shape, size, deformity, abnormal opening, etc. Musculoskeletal system for abnormal deformity of limbs, digit, spinal cord deformities, muscular activities, and response. So we shall start our examination. Now, what are the objectives of newborn examination? Classification of newborn. Just recap your previous classes. Classification of newborn, understanding of Apgar score, access growth measurement by anthropometry and weights, etc. Assess vital sign, heart rate, respiration rate, temperature. Assess the different body system, CBS, GIT, and respiration. Recognize normal finding and abnormal finding in newborn examination. Recognize the common newborn problems. Under the classification of newborn by gestational age, preterm less than 37 week, you all very well know preterm, full term, post term, and by birth weight, low birth weight less than 2 5 kg, very low birth weight less than 1.5 kg, extremely low birth weight less than 1000 gram. What are the significance of gestational age and birth weight? Fetus, as you know, fetus mature with advanced gestational age and capable to survive in outer environment when it separate from mother. It's depend on maturity and development of the fetus and development of the system of fetus. Preterm and very low birth weight baby always have risk to develop infection due to underdeveloped organs, system, and its immune response. So we have to be prepared for extra care for preterm and low birth weight or very low birth weight baby. Extremely low birth weight baby less than 1000 gram, poorly developed and have less chance to survive without advanced support. Postterm also have other complication during delivery, then development of hypoglycemia if feeding not started timely in postterm. Now we have to start our main topic, examination of newborn. Complete physical examination should be done within 24 hours after birth or within 24 hours. The first examination in APGAR score is assessment at birth, complete physical examination within 24 hours of birth to rule out the visible and non-visible deformities, birth injuries, congenital anomalies, etc. And with covering these following points, the physical examination should cover the following point: vital signs, physical examination, neurological examination, assessment of gestational age. Then come to the vital points. Vital points, vital signs are temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, blood pressure, CRT or capillary refill time. Vital signs to assess the viability of baby, capability of newborn to adjust in new environment. For this, check following: temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, blood pressure. Blood pressure usually not required in normal condition. If there is a presence of a sign of shock like low perfusion in CRT, capillary refill time, or evidence of poor activity, evidence of cyanosis, and evidence of poor feeding, then go for blood pressure assessment. Now, vital sign: temperature. Temperature site should be auxiliary in newborn with digital thermometer. You can choose rectal with the rectal thermometer. You can choose tympanic membrane. Also for temperature assessment, the preferable site for newborn is auxiliary. So auxiliary temperature is 0.5 to 1 degree centigrade lower than the rectal temperature. Then the normal temperature of newborn is 36.6 to 37.5 degrees centigrade, and what is in Fahrenheit? 97.8 degree Fahrenheit to 99.5 degree Fahrenheit. Again, the preferable site for temperature in newborn is auxiliary. In next slide, we will check the preferable site according to age. Newborn up to 3 months, rectal or auxiliary, and 3 months to 3 year rectal, auxiliary, underarm, tympanic ear, 4 to 5 year rectal, oral, auxiliary, and tympanic. After 5 year, you can choose oral, auxiliary, tympanic. Then don't allow for rectal temperature measurement. If baby is normal and conscious, in unconscious condition, you can choose auxiliary, tympanic, or rectal. Now, heart rate. Heart rate should be ausculted for complete 1 minute, and baby is in sleeping condition after feeding. Uh, so you can get the actual heart rate. Normal heart rate for newborn is 120 to 160 beats per minute. If it is more than 160 or uh, per minute or 170, 180, it called tachycardia, or less than 100 or less than 120, it called bradycardia. Bradycardia due to maybe in a hypoxic condition or in asphyxic condition, or if there is any choking, there is maybe bradycardia you can found. What are the effect of why we suggest baby should be in sleep condition? When baby is crying or in uh, doing vigorous movement, so in this condition heart rate increase and you can get false tachycardia. So always auscultate for 1 minute and in resting or relaxed position when baby is sleeping. Now for respiratory rate, newborn have periodic rather than regular breathing. We breathe as inspirate, pause, expirate. Inspirate, pause, expirate. But in newborn, there is inspirate, expirate, inspirate, expirate, inspirate, expirate, and pause. Then again, inspirate, expirate, pause. This is periodic breathing. Respirate should be count for 1 full minute by chest movement or by auscultate. Normal respirate is 40 to 60 per minute for newborn. If it is more than 60, it called tachypnea. The condition related to tachypnea are if baby is in respiratory distress, if there is a chance of lung infection, if there is chance of systemic infection, if there is chance of meconium aspiration, if there is chance of amniotic fluid aspiration or any finding of pneumonia, there may be tachypnea in the newborn. So, what is the harmful effect of tachypnea? In tachypnea, respiratory rate in more than 60 per minute, then there is no pause for deglutition or swallowing. So there is chance of aspiration of feeding material. So whenever tachypnea not subside, we avoid the oral feeding and start maybe nasogastric feeding or maybe IV feed, IV nutrition as per the condition of newborn. So if there is tachypnea, avoid oral feeding to avoid the complication of aspiration. Then blood pressure, no need to measure routinely as I previously said. Blood pressure normal findings are variable with gestational age and postnatal age as shown in this picture. If there is no evidence of shock or low perfusion, no need of assessment of blood pressure. We have to assess blood pressure if we find any variation in pulsation, in radial pulsation and in femoral pulsation. If there is chance of variation, low femoral pulsation, low pressure on femoral pulsation, we have to assess blood pressure. Then vital. Next vital sign is capillary refill time. Capillary refill time you can assess by pressing the skin with your fingertip on the hard surface, mostly on sternum or forehead. So preferable site for assessing CRT is sternum, skin against the sternum. Normally it is less than 3 seconds over the tongue, maybe as long as 4 seconds on extremity, but more than 4 seconds show the low perfusion or circulatory failure or circulatory collapse. So maybe sign of shock. Delayed capillary refill time indicate poor perfusion, capillary failure, or evidence of shock. Then how many times we can perform physical examination? The first examination in delivery room or as soon as possible after delivery, with the assessment of Apgar score or before giving the baby to the mother. Then second and more detailed examination within 24 hours after delivery to rule out any congenital deformities, any metabolic disorder, and any other systematic conditions. And third, detailed examination before delivery, before discharge from the hospital. Before discharge from the hospital, we have to assess thoroughly newborn for the hospital acquired infection or assessment of feeding, assessment of neonatal jaundice, etc. Then come to the measurement or anthropometry. Three component: weight, birth weight. We have to assess birth weight at the time of birth or on and each every examination we have to record weight, length, crown to heel length, head circumference. We have to assess head circumference and weight on each and every examination to monitor loss in weight, gain in head circumference. These two findings, loss in weight indicate the poor feeding, maybe some type of infection. Head circumference in gain, rapid gain in head circumference may indicate the hydrocephalus or some evidence of intracranial pressure, increasing intracranial pressure. Now come to the weight. Normal weight of full-term newborn is 2.5 to 3.5 kg. Low birth weight, as in our previous slides, we learn to less than 2.5 kg. Normal for full-term baby is low birth weight and large for dead. What is a large for dead? If the baby or newborn heavy for date or heavy for age, more than 90 percentile of normal weight. If baby is having 4 kg or more at full term, at 37 to 40 week, or in infant of diabetic mother, always large for date. Newborn lose 5 to 10% of their birth weight in the first few days, 3 to 5 days, and regain their birth weight by 7 to 10 days with normal feeding. Why newborn loses weight? But due to the less volume of feeding and loss of extracellular fluid which is deposited in the fetus, newborn loses his or her weight in 3 to 5 days. And when baby is taking proper feeding, and weight regain in 7 to 10 days. Weight gain varies between 50 to 20 gram per day with normal feeding. It depends on type of milk and presence of fat and nutritional content of the mother milk. If regain of weight is delayed more than 10 to 15 days, ask for feeding and feeding pattern, or mother nutritional status, or baby feeding problem. Maybe there is cleft lip, cleft palate, or inappropriate feeding, or maybe unwanted child, or maybe no foundation with mother or baby. Then come to the length. Abnormal length, normal length is 40 to 50, 48 to 52 centimeter at birth. Crown to heel length should be measured for length of newborn. Abnormal length in macrothemia, in family history, short length found in some type of syndrome, and hypothyroidism. Now, head circumference. Normal head circumference at birth in term newborn is 33 to 38 centimeter. It should be measured using the measuring paper tape around the most prominent part of occipital bone, backside of head, and the frontal bone. It should be measured on after birth within 24 hours at the time of discharge. Whenever we done physical examination, we have to measure head circumference to assess the abnormalities. What type of abnormalities? Like hydrocephalus, hematoma, periventricular hemorrhage, macrosomia, etc. With large head size, assess for anterior fontanel size. If there is broad anterior fontanel size or open with open suture, there is chance of meningeal infection. Assess pressure of intracranial pressure, suture closure status. Now come for the general examination of color. You can find color, pallor, cyanosis, plethora, and jaundice. These are broadly explained color. In pallor, pallor associated with low hemoglobin or shock. Low hemoglobin condition like anemia, severe anemia in newborn, or due to maternal anemic condition, maybe due to shock or circulatory failure, maybe due to profuse blood loss by maybe mishandling at the time of birth, maybe mishandling of the umbilical stem, or oozing of blood from the umbilicus, continuous oozing of blood. Then cyanosis associated with hypoxia due to respiratory distress problem, or maybe choking, maybe due to some sort of meconium aspiration or other aspiration of feeding article, or aspiration of amniotic fluid. Plethora associated with polycythemia. Polycythemia is the condition when the excess RBC in newborn blood. Excess RBC in newborn blood causes plethora, reddish color skin. Then jaundice, condition of elevated bilirubin in the newborn's blood. Maybe it also associated with plethora, polycythemia. Polycythemia causes excess RBC destruction. Excess RBC destruction causes excess bilirubin production. You can see the jaundice or pale color. You can icterus. You can see the pallor or anemic condition. You can see the plethora. You can see the cyanosis. Now come to the general examination of skin. Examination of newborn skin for normal and abnormal finding. Wernicke's cachesia, Mongolian spots, purpura, and edema. The Wernicke's cachesia, presence of Wernicke's cachesia, presence of Mongolian spot, presence of purpura are the normal finding. Presence of edema, always abnormal. Then Vernix gaseosa. What is Vernix gaseosa? Vernix gaseosa, a lubricant found on the skin or skin fold of the newborn. It is soft, white, cheesy, yellowish, creamy material, and it secretes by the sebaceous gland of the fetus skin in the when baby in uterus. It protects the fetus in watery media. It acts as natural moisturizer and absorb in the skin after birth and at the time of before the birth in the fetus skin. When fetus come to the maturity, it absorb in the skin of fetus. Then in the full term baby, there is maybe very low or absence of vernix gaseosa on the skin, but in the postterm there is completely absence of vernix gaseosa. But in preterm, it present in excess amount or in profuse amount and all over the skin. But what we do if we found in large amount on preterm skin, uh, it have a positive and negative both results. What is positive? Positive result is it act as a insulation layer and so prevent from hypothermia. It is act as a nutritional substance to the skin or to the newborn. So we can left over the newborn skin, but with proper hygienic condition or covering in the sterile clean cloth. If we left in unhygienic condition, it can cause the growth of bacteria. It is most suitable media for the bacterial growth. So we have both option. Either we clean or either we cap. If we cap, if uh, if we cap, we have to follow the hygienic conditions. Then Mongolian spots known as birthmark and lasun in Indians. These are accumulation of melanocytes in dermis layer, congenital dermal melanocytosis or accumulation of melanin in excess amount. These are flat congenital birthmark, color bluish, green, gray or black according to the accumulation of melanocytes. Congestion shape may be oval, may be irregular uh, according to the site. The common area, lumbosacral area, buttocks, lower back, uh, can be found on any dependent part, arm, leg, etc. But usually absent on the face. Uh, appear, but appear present at birth or appear within 2 months of birth, as per the melanocyte formation. Melanin formation resolve in 1 to 2 year of age. Small or light patches resolve in 1 to 2 year. Dark and large spot may continue 10 to 15 year or maybe found in older adult. Uh, what is the effect on health? These are known, no harm on health, non-cancerous, no need to any treatment or any management to resolve them. Then come to purpura. Purpura are the bluish purple color patches on skin, mucous membrane, even sometime on may be found on oral mucosa. This is hemorrhagic condition under the skin due to maybe abnormality in the platelet function, maybe abnormality in plasma coagulation factors, and maybe fragile blood vessel. Fragile blood vessels may be due to hypoxic conditions, maybe systemic infections. Uh, Appearance like patechi and ecchymosis. If spots are less than 3 mm in size, called patechi. If spots are more than 1 centimeter in size, called ecchymosis. These appear within first 12 hours of birth, usually with the temperature. As temperature upgrade rises, the purpura or patechi ecchymosis rises in the numbers or on the skin due to the fragile blood vessels. Causes may be congenital torch infection, toxoplasmosis, rubella, cytomegalovirus, or herpes. Maybe septicemia, maybe coagulation factor defect. Then effect, usually these, if less in amount, if hemorrhage is less in amount, there is no any harmful effect. But if we left untreated and hemorrhage in profuse or hemorrhage in excess amount, may cause severe blood loss or maybe condition of shock, maybe condition of hypovolemia. You can check purpura. Now come to the edema. Edema, as I told previously, always pathological if found. Edema in newborn usually due to insufficient renal and cardiac function in preterm baby, or found in some syndromic babies like Turner syndrome, foot edema, this edema in Turner syndrome. But sometimes edema is physiological or normal. When the in CPD condition, cephalopelvic disproportion condition, head of fetus is stuck for long duration in the primary mother, there is presence of caput succedaneum at the time of birth. It is physiological and normal. Then hydrops fetalis. One type of edema is hydrops fetalis. Hydrops fetalis means pan swelling, whole body swelling, all over the body with ascites, pleural pericardial effusion, and even with enlarged liver. What are the reason for hydrocephalus? The most common reason for hydrocephalus is uh, immune type is RH incompatibility. RH incompatibility due to the if mother is RH negative, fetus RH positive, it may cause fetal incompatibility in second child, not in first child. But we can prevent this condition if by giving anti-D serum antibodies within 72 hours of birth to the mother, or we have to give unidentified abortion, miscarriage, cancelled pregnancy. If mother is Rh negative, we have to give anti-D serum antibodies to the mother within 72 hours. No harm in first child. Rh incompatibility always appear in second child. It causes hydrocephalus and causes fetal death. Non-human type are severe anemia to the mother, severe anemia to the fetus, torch infection, some syndrome, hypoplasia, or malfunction of lungs of the fetus, heart maldevelopment of heart, maldevelopment of liver function may cause hydrops fetalis in some extent, but in these condition, fetus may live and delivered normally. What are the effect in immune type? Always cause fetus death. The picture of hydrophytalis. You can see the ascites and swelling all over the body, ascites and swelling all over the body, even in the scrotum also swelled. Then come to the rashes. Careful examination for abnormal and normal findings. Abnormal findings and normal finding. Melia, erythema toximum, normal finding. Bullous impetigo, diaper abnormal finding. Then what is melia? Melia are the whitish, milkish spots on the face of the child, usually on the face, but you can see the on face, nose, chin, cheek, forehead, sometime on the uh, chest also. These are retention of dead skin cells, sebaceous gland secretions under the skin. These collection form cyst and appears as whitish patches on the skin. And 50% of newborn may find with melia. Size of melia less than 1 mm. Area. What are the effect? There is no harmful effect on the health and no permanent mark are left after resolve. Then there is no treatment required. These subside within weeks to month. Just follow the normal care. Then erythema toxicum. Erythema toxicum are the red spots on the skin, also known as baby acne, newborn rash, common rash of the newborn. These are yellow, white bumps surrounded by red base, present in variable size as maculae, papillae, vesicle. If bacterial infection occurs, then pustules. Appear within 3 to 14 days in healthy term baby on face, chest, arm, legs, but not on the palm or sole. No harmful effect on the health without getting secondary bacterial infection. Without getting secondary bacterial infection. If bacterial infection occur, we have to treat locally, systemically, as per the condition. If bacterial infection occurs, it comes with pustules and further complication may develop if infection reaches to the blood or other systems. These are the picture of erythema toxicum, erythema neonatorum. Then bullous impetigo. Bullous impetigo are the abnormal finding in the summer or humid climate when the sweating deposited on the skin and the skin joints. The bacterial infection occur and bacterial infection causes blisters, maybe boils, blisters on the skin, like whitish to yellowish. Initially, these contained clear fluid, then dark yellow to turbid pus. Like this site of the bullous impetigo are commonly face, legs, hand, axilla, neck, diaphragm, and joint of the skin. Complication usually some not occur if we follow the hygienic condition. If we left untreated, the infection go to the blood and to the other system, may cause pneumonia, septicemia, septic arthritis. So we have to check the infection in initial steps with the proper routine care, with the proper hygienic routine care. keep the baby dry and moist. Use proper lubricant and moisture or oil on the skin as per the season or temperature. Then diaper rash. Diaper rash, also known as ahipotna in Ayurveda, matrika dosh, and ahindi. These are the synonyms of diaper rash: matrika dosh, ahindi, ahipotna. Ayurveda very well explain the ahipotna, diaper rash, and management. Main cause for Ayurveda, Ayurveda explain Matrika dosh. Matrika dosh means negligency of the mother. Negligency for the changing diaper frequently. So if baby left in unhygienic condition for long duration, diaper rash may appear. Diaper rash limited to the diaper region like buttock, thigh, genitals, perineal region. These are bright red inflamed skin of the diaper region. When infection or bacterial infection comes to the diaper rash, it may be converted into boils, ulcer, and severe rashes. Due to the irritation, infection, and allergic condition. The most of the most preferable cause for the diaper is irritation. Irritation for tight fitting of diaper, irritation for overstay of urine, overstay of stool at the perianal or perineal region. These overstay or for long duration or maybe or delayed cleaning by mother or caretaker make urea, ammonia from the urine. These urea and ammonia irritant to skin, and these urea ammonia causes skin damage and stool. If present long duration, bacteria of the stool contact with damaged skin causes infection, may be with present as boil, ulcer on the skin. So or open bleeding also may also found if ulcer rupture. Infection from air, also bacterial infection, fungal infection, even yeast infection due to the from the unhygienic condition, or use of dirty cloth or use of dirty water to clean the area. Allergy to the synthetic diaper material, or if we use other than cotton, it may cause allergy. So what is the prevention for diaper rash? Prevention, the change frequently as baby passes the urine or stool, then change the diaper and apply. If we are using any synthetic diaper, we have to apply some lubricant like ghee or like any coconut oil or cream to the diaper area before the and putting the diaper. Diaper should be comfort fitting. Diaper, we have to give some free time, free to left, free to air, to prevent the diaper rash. You can see the stages: slight diaper rash, mild diaper rash, moderate to severe, and severe. You may also found open bleeding site from the due to the rupture of rashes. Thank you everyone. Today's lecture ends with this, and next lecture, part 2 of newborn examination, will start with the skull. Thanks everyone.